when I drank Josh with my father the day before he died, it was the day he told me, son, I am proud of you. Even though you're a disgrace, I am proud of you. And then when I saw him off for his business trip, I then got the call. What? Died.
Josh killed my dad.
Josh killed my dad. Salutations, I'm Michael Richabono, the current host for the Couch Gambit podcast. We're starting at 10:38.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we were supposed to start like hours ago. To my left is Charles Carlisle. I call him Mikey. Yep. I get it.
I call him
Mikey.
Cameron.
I'm Michael, and yet he calls me Cameron. Yeah, I get it. Fuck off. Then there's Jacob Sizemore. He handles the camera and microphone shit. I don't know how far we'd be without him. He's
We'd be about 2 hours early, actually.
okay. That's still not his fault. Okay, well, kind of his fault. But Jacob, he's a real blessing. You know, we love to have him.
Come over there and sit on your lap.
But yeah,
dude.
that's everyone. We can go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Two different angles for this big boy.
Thank you.
Come on.
And then of course there's Liam
God.
Quay.
This is what shitty wine does to you people.
Yes.
Oh, it's awful wine. Yeah.
Quay.
Well, wait. So we're drinking wine and Greek beer.
Greek
Yeah,
beer.
Yep.
Greek beer.
Greek beer that I got for free at a festival. 'cause
Honestly,
there's tons of it left
all
over.
beer just kind of tastes the same to me, which is to say, I just don't like beer.
Well, we're
to be
combining
honest.
it with, what is
I
it,
love
gas
beer.
station wine? This is gas station wine
Is
with...
it gas station
It's
wine?
not a gas
It
station.
tastes
It's
like-
Walmart wine, all right?
Oh,
It's a
that's
step
not-
up.
Oh, okay.
So you could probably find it at a gas
Step
station.
up.
Depending on where you go, that's a step below.
I was going to say, well, you can find it at a Buc-ee's at least. I mean, it's like upscale gas station.
Yeah, Buc-ee's is upscale. Yeah.
But you know, okay. Before we get to the actual topic, can I just say something?
Sure.
I always thought that Quick Trip was apparently like the gold standard of gas stations. But then when I started working at my current dealership where there's a Buc-ee's that's right next to it,
Yeah.
I went to Buc-ee's for the first time.
I'm surprised you live in Texas that long and
well,
didn't know what Buc-ee's was.
Yeah, no, seriously. For a long time, I just thought Buc-ee's was like, I don't know, a superstore.
It is.
Well, like, but not a gas station.
Dude, Buc-ee's has his own religion in Texas.
Nice, nice. But
And
yeah, so
Florida.
I go to Buc-ee's.
And Florida, too.
And I am just intrigued by this magical Christmas land. It's wonderful. So
There's
yeah, I found out recently that Buc-ee's is actually the gold standard of gas stations.
It is sexy.
I think that's how we could create peace in Israel,
Middle East.
actually. Start building some Buc-ee's. Have you seen that? The meme of just letting Buc-ee's take over?
I actually sent it to him today after I saw it.
I've not seen this at
Oh,
all.
yeah.
Yeah, Bucky's official account actually posting it, which is just based.
Wait, they actually posted it?
based-
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah,
was
no,
Buc-ee's
it's real.
posting it.
It's real.
Okay, so just to clarify, the actual meme in question was the Buc-ee's Superstore saying, I have a solution, and then it shows the state of Israel, and then Buc-ee's right in the center, and then down below it says the only thing they'd get blown up is the restrooms.
That's Doss's base.
So we have a solution.
It's so good, dude. Oh, my God.
But so on to like the topic. So really, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of a broad topic. You know, we're just kind of talking about why PC culture, woke shit is kind of just bad. How it ruins literally everything good in this world, and everything that's just kind of decent.
It makes you kind of like everyone, if you're always in a group of people, the woke guy is usually the bummer. And it's like just don't know. This
Right.
Don't say that. Like the sensitive guy is like, we probably shouldn't do this. Like, why? I just wanted to jump this guy's fence to steal his dog, and you had to get in the way.
Yeah, but like there's like quite a few examples of just how like we'll start with movies, how they're getting ruined.
Gosh.
I mean, I know the popular one is like the Little Mermaid thing, you know. Then there's the Cleopatra show. You told me it was bad.
So I didn't see too much. I saw a few clips of the Cleopatra show. I only know a little bit. I didn't know too much about the Cleopatra show until I watched it, and then I looked it up, and I saw the humongous backlash of it, and like it was so bad. The Egyptian culture actually called it out and said, like, yeah, this is wrong, historically inaccurate, and just no, this does not represent our culture. This is on y'all. We don't like they were going for so woke that the culture they were trying to represent just said no. They said no. Which should say something about people trying to be PC and woke. It's fake niceness. It seems it's fake niceness.
I also think like wasn't the I remember we were kind of having a discussion about like Ezra Miller, for example, too, where obviously just piece of shit. But like he kind of gets away with a lot of shit because he's not a he.
Yeah, they.
Right?
No,
it's multiple people.
It's they,
which is canon now apparently because there's.
There's multiple Ezra, so technically it does count as they.
That's
true.
That's true.
But how can you be plural?
Well, time travel. That's.
Are we just reusing old jokes from this podcast?
Yeah, we are.
So lazy.
We're so lazy.
So beyond
Much
lazy.
like Marvel and DC, we're just we're
Reusing our
bankrupt of ideas.
No, so I do want to jump onto the fact about I kind of want to extend on this idea of PC culture, especially in the modern sense, because PC culture, when you take a look back at its history, isn't the same now as it was then. PC culture in the 90s or the 80s kind of represented this just general politeness. It was still annoying, don't get me wrong. It represented this general politeness that was like, well, don't call them retarded, call them like differently able. Call them special or
retarded.
or
Differently able.
yeah, or call them special and stuff like that.
Yeah.
PC culture over time went from being this attempt to be polite, a bad attempt at being polite, into this weird kind of subsection of just having a moral righteousness over any little thing. It went from a attempt to be polite and while still judgmental, wasn't in a place of full judgment to a place of just absolute judgment. If you disagree with this standard, you are a terrible human being and you should kill yourself.
Well, I definitely think it's an area of pretending to be that you're not biased when you are very biased.
In 60 years, it went from colored people to people of color. It's just funny. Horseshoe theory. It really is. Horseshoe theory just describes everything about PC culture. I love it.
You know that black people was apparently not PC? You can't say black people?
Yeah, so they prefer African Americans, even though like
are you like? But it's weird because like black people don't want to be called African American
because there's quite a few black people that are were not born in Africa.
Yeah,
you know, sorry, there's nothing wrong with calling them black people because.
I worked in a Nigerian film society for a very long time, and it's a very different culture than us. Number one, Nigerian culture is awesome and incredibly cringe at the same time. Their work ethic surpasses everyone I know. Nigerians work so hard. Their sense of humor is stupid. I do not understand it at all. It's a very strange sense of humor, but I have a huge respect for that culture. But they do not give a crap about being PC at all.
Yeah,
it is like don't call us African American. I can't do the accent. I'm like, don't call us African. I can't do the accent.
Probably a good thing.
They were just like, why you call us African American? It's like because you're like, no, because I'm black. Because I'm black, and like that's literally a conversation. Like because I'm black. They're like that makes sense. Like I know. It's like they don't give a crap at all. They don't give a single crap, and I feel like it is kind of like the pasty white boy culture of like trying to fit into other cultures, and it's like, oh, we're being sensitive towards you when you seem like you're pandering. It's all it seems like.
Yeah, and then like let's also like speaking of black people, you know, but remember when I showed you the McDonald's commercial? This was like a couple years back, still, you know. But
I remind me.
No, it was the black trans person. It was like, stop killing black trans people.
Oh, yeah.
It's a McDonald's ad, I believe. And I'm like, wow, this really makes me want to have some chicken nuggies and fries. Mm-hmm. You've done such a great job.
Yeah. What is it? The other ad that they played it up against was a Japanese ad.
The Japanese McDonald's ad. So fucking wholesome. So adorable. I look at that fucking ad, I'm like, man, I want some chicken nuggies, some French fries, maybe a Big Mac,
And a dad?
and a dad. Exactly. Holy shit!
Gosh.
Will McDonald's give me a dad? Hey, I need to go to
You
Japan.
know what? I figured it out. I figured out why we have ourselves separated. This is the side with dead dads.
Fuck.
And this is the side. That's relying.
This will now be our permanent setup for that very reason.
Oh, speaking of setup, yeah, as you can tell, we tried a new setup, and by try I mean this is the permanent new setup because I got a new couch.
Yeah, ironically, it's too utilitarian for Liam. It's not
you.
utilitarian enough for me.
I fucking hate Liam.
This is, yeah. I mean, it has USB ports. Did you know that?
yeah.
It's
I
electric.
see it, but-
It's electric.
Yeah, it's got USB ports like right there. Going back to like what you were talking about movies. Yeah, movies have gotten worse because of it.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. I mean, like movies, TV shows. I mean, okay, so I know we used the Cleopatra and the Mermaid example. Wait, has Little Mermaid even come out yet?
Yes, it has.
It's on Disney Plus.
Just goes to show that I've not been following.
Here's the
any
thing:
of
I
it.
didn't know that came out either, and I just saw it like on a Disney Plus app the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, I had no idea that.
I know. But like,
I thought that was still pending.
but man, when was the start of it for Marvel? Was it probably Endgame with that one scene, or did they do it before
It was
that?
before that.
It was definitely beginning
I don't even
before
remember.
then. But like, here's the thing: Infinity War is not nearly as like woke agendified than Endgame. Endgame has a lot of scenes where they're just stop. Like they have the Endgame is a great movie. Don't get me wrong, but it has that whole scene where the battle just stops. And so all of these women can just get together and have the women power moments.
Yeah, so Black Panther was definitely the first one. Captain Marvel. Oh my God.
No, not even.
Right, I completely forgot about that.
Hold on,
film.
no.
Absolute.
The Spider-Man Homecoming movie was kind of the first time they really played with it.
No, Black Panther came out
No.
before Homecoming.
Did Black Panther come out before Homecoming?
No, Homecoming came out before Black Panther.
Homecoming came out before Black Panther. So Homecoming had a line in the movie that talked about the Washington Monument in there, and there was a Hold on, we're gonna
We need a
verify
fact
this.
check. It did not. I
There's
remember
gonna
seeing
be some
Black
people down below.
No,
that's
dude.
like, did you know that
It
Black
definitely-
Panther actually came? Hold on.
Black Panther definitely came
To be
out.
fair,
first.
we're all tired. So
February 16th, 2018. Okay.
yep, 2017 for Homecoming.
What?
Spider-Man Homecoming release date. I think. Yep. So Homecoming came out first.
It came out almost a year earlier.
You got
so
fucked in the
here's
ass.
the thing. I was
right,
completely
fair
right.
enough.
You
All
were wrong.
Yeah, well, cut that
so
part out.
there was a scene. There was a scene in the movie.
We'll edit and post. Make me.
This is the intro. This is the intro.
I kind of consider Homecoming like the first movie that really tried to kind of play with the with PC culture when it had that Washington Monument scene, and you have Zendaya.
We're drinking alcohol.
Sorry. You have that Washington Monument scene where Zendaya's character turns back to the teacher and says, "Yeah, I don't really want to go inside of something that was built by slaves." And then you have the black security guard that the teacher's like, "I'm sure it wasn't built like," and he turns around, the black security guard's like,
Can I be real? I actually never saw that movie.
"You never saw that one?"
I've seen like the second and third one, but I never saw the first Spider-Man film.
Here's the thing. Even outside of the movie itself,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't just like that scene. There was a big focus on how diverse the cast was, which typically I don't really have a problem with diversity at all in a movie.
Sure.
My problem is when you tend to flaunt it as if it's anything
Yeah.
special.
I hold to this. If the Little Mermaid movie came out in 2008 with the same casting, like, I'm sure the story would be different, but the same casting, I don't think it would have been a big issue. Now, I do think there would have been like, well, she's white in the original. I do think there would have been that original, like, what? But it wouldn't nearly be a bit of an issue.
The reason
because we all
why-
know why they cast her
yes.
like that, because it was a diversity hire.
Yes, so it was definitely a diversity hire. I don't care, if people are like, well, actually, here's my source, but like it was quoted that they picked her because she's a great actress or whatever. No.
Yeah.
That's just them saying like that's just their bullshit answer. It was a diversity hire because Disney has to be so inclusive now.
They do.
Well,
Here's the thing: like the actress itself, nice on the eyes. She is also a really good singer. But here's the thing: like, we all know why they cast her, and like, and you can't say why they cast her.
Well,
You can't say the reason.
I don't think it's so much that. I think that there was a marketing strategy behind it when they released the trailer and they show that the Little Mermaid is now a casted with a black actress. It's a way to get people to be like, hey, I'm tired of all this PC culture you're trying to push on us, because we've seen it in the past. We've seen that it's this big thing that's exploding. And when we point out that you're doing this for the sake of remaining PC, they then flip it back onto the audience to create controversy around the film. And they're like, well, why do you care so much that she's
You're
black?
the
It's like,
racist.
personally, I don't really care. I care
Right.
because I know what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
But
It's
also,
not- yeah.
here's the other my big issue with it. Look, when I saw the casting decision, I saw the trailer. I was like, she can't swim.
Why? Why?
All right, well, we'll
we
edit
were
it in
doing
post.
so good, and then we got there.
We'll edit it in post. Anyways, but okay, but this is a great,
Michael.
but this is a great way to move on to back to Black Panther and how it is such an
maybe we shouldn't.
overrated fucking movie. It's so bad.
It's not a good movie.
It's terrible. I don't understand. Okay, seriously, people will say it is. Didn't it win Best Picture?
No, it didn't, but it was nominated.
That's right. It was nominated.
It was not the most basic Marvel movie. Was nominated for Best Picture.
How does Black Panther get nominated for Best Picture?
The only good thing in that movie was M'Baku, because M'Baku's awesome. But everything else was just kind of basic.
Who is that again?
He's the guy that challenges one of the guys that challenges Black Panther in the beginning of the movie. He's the big muscular guy
Yeah.
who has who has that one joke. He's like, "Oh, my family will eat you."
I mean, I got a lot of respect for the guy who played T'Challa, but just because I mean his whole backstory,
Yeah,
the whole
R.I.P., dude.
cancer thing. I mean, that was
Oh yeah, dude. R.I.P. That guy was
Yeah.
Chad.
No, it was
behind the scenes. It was fine, but the movie was.
I really
No,
liked
the movie
him.
doesn't have to be good,
I
and the
really
movie
liked
wasn't
him in
good.
Civil War. I thought he was really
Yeah.
cool in Civil War. Man, T'Challa was such an interesting, cool character.
He was.
But in Black Panther, girl, make him. Oh,
Yeah, they had the "What are those?" joke.
Yeah, that was kind of my.
oh, that's yeah.
What are the like? Are you? That's not even in dates. Number one.
Yeah, I feel like Civil War kind of really hyped up some of the new characters. Like, because in Civil War, I love both T'Challa and Spider-Man, and then after the fact, once the movies came out,
They weren't that interesting in their own
I greatly
movies.
disliked both those characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, but Civil War, good film.
And Endgame. Endgame came out the same year, I think, as Black Panther.
Okay.
And no. I take that back. I take that. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's 100% a lie. That's 100% a lie. I apologize. That's a lie.
We must really be
But
tired.
No.
We're really
Not Endgame. Infinity War. Infinity War came out a few years after Black Panther. Infinity War, by far, is the best MCU movie. Not even a single nomination.
Yeah, okay. For me, my two
All right,
favorite.
we're not getting into Marvel movie
No,
argument.
I
We're
know,
getting
but
into
my
PC
favorite
culture.
two films is probably Infinity War as well as Civil War. Those are my two favorite, probably.
That's fair.
Anyways, unless there's something else we want to talk about with the MCU, let's move back to.
We can talk about other movies.
Well, hold on. We still have Captain Marvel.
Do we have to talk about that?
what?
By the way, there's a new
There's-
movie coming
we got
out with Captain Marvel in it that's called The Marvels.
I don't.
right?
The
Marvels.
Marvels. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone gives a single
No.
crap about that movie.
I can
Hey.
see it in Charles' face. He was like pinching his fingers together. He was waiting to just like unleash that comment.
Oh, what's the sorry, Charles. What's the comments? Do we?
It was about Captain Marvel.
No,
already
Captain
forgot.
Marvel was just. Oh man, I mean, I mean, just even the deleted scenes were just they cut out
yeah.
the worst parts, and so the stuff that was in the movies was the stuff that they left in the movie after they
Yeah.
reviewed it and cut out the worst parts.
Yeah.
They're like, nah, this is good.
Do you
This is
think
good
that
stuff.
it feels like when some of these movies come out, especially Captain Marvel, that it feels like a very spiteful female writer that may have had like bad experiences with guys and is just putting all men under this umbrella of all men are disgusting, and it's just angry writing.
No, so my big thing is it seems there is such a focus on now having a strong female lead when in reality what we should have are just strong leads in general, okay? So of course you have stuff like the new Star Wars Rey, right? The She-Hulk show, Captain Marvel, God, what was the other one? Fuck it, I don't care. Like those are like examples of where they try so hard to have a strong, independent, woman like who can do things on her own when it feels so forced and they end up being just kind of Mary Sue's or people who cannot do anything wrong. Again, as I said, the main focus should just be having a strong main character. The movie Alien and Aliens, right? Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. What a fantastic character, okay? And she was a fantastic character not because she was a woman, but just because she was just a good, decent individual who did show motherly traits while also being a badass, okay? She could have actually wait, have you guys seen the movie Aliens?
Yes, this is a great movie.
You've all seen it? Okay. Like
No.
she could have. You have not?
No.
Oh my god.
Liam's not part of this podcast anymore.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Though it's they can show women in really powerful roles, especially in the scope of like motherhood and things like that. That's my favorite movie. Is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah, we know.
Love that movie.
So we've heard.
It's amazing, and they do have some stuff that like on the surface would be SJW woke crap. They have a whole like lesbian arc and all that, but within the culture it works. And then they have the whole character arc being a mother-daughter relationship being built, and then you have how it relates to the husband and father figure and grandfather figure. I mean, it is just a perfect movie in my opinion. I love that movie so much.
They're like, you can have great, strong people like this. I don't feel like this is a controversial thing to say, and I don't feel like this should be a weird thing to say, but you don't have to make your females physically strong to be strong characters. Again, this kind of seems a little weird considering how I behave, but like one of my favorite movies is Pride and Prejudice. I just love that movie personally, but those women in that time period are very powerful, strong characters. They're not strong physically. You just watch the movie, you can tell they have, but like they're great characters, and I root for them the entire time, and I very much relate to them, even though we're not the same gender. But it's crazy is when you write compelling, good characters, I like them. I like your characters. Pride and Prejudice is not a movie that should be one of my favorite movies, but it is because the characters are so compelling. The writing is so amazing. The acting is so amazing. And I get behind these characters because they're so engaging, and they don't have to be this brute of a human being that's standing up to all the guys saying the patriarchy or something like that.
Here's
By the way, I
another-
have an American
Kill
blanket.
Bill is a fan favorite.
I was literally just about to talk about Kill Bill. Kill Bill. Holy shit. What a
Uma Thurman, baby.
I love
Well,
that fucking film.
Well, the thing about Kill Bill in particular, it kind of does well in both regards
Yes.
of having
Yeah.
a strong female character in the badass sense of being a female character that can just kick a lot of ass, and in the motherly sense. It's one of those films that kind of stands out because the focus isn't about her being a bad bitch.
Like physically overpowering people. It's
yes.
Yeah.
will,
Well, she-
it's pure willpower and wit.
Oh my god!
Well, that's the thing.
She wills
She-
a toe to move.
she-
That's one of the most suspenseful things. She wills her toe to move.
Yeah, she is definitely a strong character that can fight and hold her own, but she's not perfect in the fight.
Right. Oh,
she
yeah.
still struggles a lot in her battles, which I think adds to her interest.
It's the Indiana Jones method where you see the Indiana Jones movies and he just gets pummeled and beat the
Right.
crap
Yeah.
out of all the time. But at the end of it, it's like the Last Crusade when he's hanging on the edge of the tank and he's like blood all over his face. But then when the tank turns, he just gets that will in his eyes, like, and like I'm gonna win this fight. And he gets over and just slams his the Nazi's face into the tank and is like, yeah. And you're pumped to the audience because you just saw him get the crap beaten out of him, and he still got up and fought those guys.
So another really good main character who also happens to be a woman. Again, I don't know if you guys have seen. I think you've seen it, but Terminator. 1 and 2.
Yes,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
been a minute.
Sarah
It has been a
fucking
minute.
Connor. Okay, I'm sorry, but like she starts off as this terrified woman who just doesn't know what the fuck is happening, and she just wants it all to end. But at the end of the movie, I mean, she understands that like she has to, what was his name? Oh, Kyle Reese, right? Who like he alone is not able to protect her, so she has to defend herself in like the last act of the movie.
Yeah.
And then in Terminator 2, like she is this badass commando almost, but she's so flawed, right? Because she doesn't trust Arnold in the second film, and
And she's terrified of him in the beginning. She sees him as like, holy crap.
And
yeah.
she does coddle John
Yeah.
quite a bit in the second film, right? Like not trusting anyone, not even trusting her own son to know what to do. Now, granted, he is a child, but he seems like a pretty independent child. Granted, he's a kind of a criminal because he would steal fucking money.
Yeah, she's not a great mother that she did all this to her
Also,
son.
yeah, and like honestly, like she's not the best of moms. Like obviously, she wants to protect her son, but she goes about it not in the best of ways. Like I mean, she allowed herself to be taken to an insane asylum because she allowed like instead of being smart and just like letting it just kind of sit with her, and just kind of prep for the future. Like no, she just fucking tries to convince everyone like, oh my god, we're all gonna fucking die.
yeah.
But yeah, no, she's a flawed character, but she's still a strong individual.
Yeah, they forget to add flaws to these people. And it's not that it's just saying like adding bad qualities to a person. No, it's just humanizing the characters. Just show me this character being a human. I want to be able to relate to this person, and I'm not relating to a perfect human being because none of us are perfect. I want to see what you're struggling with, and I want to be able to root for you. I want to be able to have the world kick you down and have you realistically struggle with this stuff, not turning around and talking about the patriarchy or talking about racism or talking about any modern day stuff that's going to take me out of the movie. That's the biggest issue with the woke stuff. It takes you out of the movie, and it's like, okay, I just wanted to see, but it's the best movies rely on good characters, good writing, and having me deal with this character's good writing in the context of this story.
I wouldn't even be as mad about it if it was just done well and done cleverly and actually contributed to the theme of the film. But it ultimately comes down. The biggest problem with it is that it's just these moments where the character's kind of giving a wink to the screen. It's like,
Right.
by the way,
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter.
It like stops the movie for like an audience applause or something. Sorry.
Well, no, but that's the thing. Like there's a lot of films that have just figured out the formula that if you just keep it simple and keep it relatable, it's something that makes a hugely successful film.
Top Gun Maverick.
John Wick doesn't have it's not a deep movie, but you're watching a man go from losing everything to finding purpose, to losing his purpose, to finding it again. Loyalty, just surviving to survive, and then just pure willpower. I mean, it's a movie that doesn't make you think deeply about it, but just you can immediately relate to it every step of the way.
There are cool women
It's
in those
awesome.
movies too.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, I mean, it's an easy formula, and not once did I sit there and wish that there was more representation in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just because it's a simple movie. And there are some movies that excel in their depth, but man, it just shows that you don't need to go that into these idealistic.
Yeah. You don't need to.
Some of the best stories are just simple,
Right.
like in nature. Star Wars, honestly, like the original trilogy.
It followed a template, the hero's journey,
The hero's journey.
just straight up. It was great, and it works because you
Lord
can
of the
Understand
Rings,
it, you can follow it.
I don't think Lord of the Rings is that deep or anything like that. It's a D&D game. It's literally just a game of D&D. Okay. Also, wait, did anyone?
I will say.
Hell, the Dungeons and Dragons movie.
That's
a great movie.
The original writer of those books, like he wrote those stories like in the trenches of war. Like he was coming up with the Elven language in the trenches. During the war,
I did not know that.
Yeah, he was writing the Elven language in the trenches. It has some he was a Christian, so it has a lot of deep Christian themes that are pulled from the books to the movies. So like there are some deep things you can go to it, but the story itself is like take the ring, destroy it because evil exists.
So speaking of Lord of the Rings of Power, whatever the fuck it's called. Did you guys see that? Oh my god!
I avoided that like a play.
I heard enough about it.
I tried watching like the first like 20 minutes. I don't even remember. I couldn't. I simply could not. It's just so awful. I'm tired of it. Every time I'm trying to watch something new, it always seems like there has to be an agenda now.
So
okay?
I want to bring this in. This was a literal perfect example of how to write great female characters. There are two shows that came out at the same time. I saw the first episode of Rings of Power, by the way. I forgot to mention that. But I saw that, and then House of Dragon came out around the same time. House of Dragon is one of the best examples of how to write a great, compelling female character. Rhaenyra Targaryen, like, who has seen House of Dragon, by the way? Anyone?
I've saw, I think, half of the show.
Okay. So, like, the whole premise of the show is essentially the fall of House Targaryen. Like, spoiler alert for Targaryen fans, eventually everyone in the Targaryen dynasty dies. But it's essentially,
I don't know if you've seen Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, yeah. It doesn't start out with everybody alive.
I haven't seen Game of Thrones, and I knew that.
Yeah. But anyway, like, it starts with the Targaryen dynasty, and like they're the rise of the power. They're the ones with all the dragons and all the power, and eventually starts their civil war. And most of them, if not all of them, die. I won't say which ones, but it starts with this character, Rhaenyra Targaryen, and how young she starts in royalties and in her climb to power, and how relatable they make this character in the struggles that she has to deal with royalty and everything, and then just the fact that Targaryen dynasty is kind of incestuous, so it's kind of creepy. But like, it's a weird, compelling, engaging story, and they make Rhaenyra a completely engaging character, especially as she gets older and more mature. Compare that to House of Dragon, and now they made this character who we saw in the original Lord of the Rings and was completely fine. Wasn't a main character, but was completely fine. I forgot her name. What's her name? I forgot her name. What's her name? I forgot her name. Anyway, what's her name? She's in the original Lord of the Rings. I forget her name.
She's the
About the Elven Queen?
yeah,
the Elven Queen. Yeah.
Oh.
She's the main character, I guess. But they
In
make
House
her.
of the Dragon?
No, what?
Oh,
You're
okay,
killing
okay.
me.
Sorry, I'm
Lord of the
like-
Rings.
Like, what the hell? Okay, that makes
No,
more sense. Okay,
but
sorry.
then-
Go.
the crossover we never
Fix it.
wanted.
Never wanted that. But they make her, instead of who she was, which was more of a poised, wise lady who was guiding our heroes, they make her just a warrior, and they make her a perfect warrior, and they make her Rey, essentially. They make her perfect. And it's not a compelling character. That's not an interesting character. I don't want to learn more about this character because I feel like I know everything about her. She's the worst. That's all I know.
Yeah. But hey, so can we go back now that we've really talked like extensively about film, shows?
Yeah, let's go back.
Let's go back to the McDonald's ad versus the
Oh, goodness gracious.
black trans don't kill them ad. Like, seriously. And now, granted, I think my buddy who was telling me about the whole quote debacle, how people on the left were flaming the ad, blew it a little out of proportion. But there were quite a few comments that I saw that were very just disingenuous about it. I mean, one example was they spoke of how, in Japan, a lot with their anime, they like to, what's the word? Infantize? Is that the word I'm looking for?
What are you doing? Stop pouring. Jeez.
Do I get a
my
glass?
I'm not that much of an alcoholic.
I mean, I'll drink it.
Goodness gracious.
Come on, bro.
That's most of the cup.
Mikey.
Hold on, over the wood. Come on.
If y'all are listening on Spotify, I apologize. You don't know what's happening. As of right
Mikey, come on.
As of right now, I am literally,
Liam.
there's a cup that is almost full of wine, and we are struggling to understand
You really
what the
want me
podcast
to?
is right now. Are you insane? No, you must be dumb. No, you must be dumb. Oh
He's
my
actually drinking it from his
gosh.
hands. Hey, cheers.
Gosh, Jesus' first miracle, just being treated like
Hey,
that. My
Jacob.
gosh. Hey.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, man?
cheers.
Cheers, bud. This podcast is trash.
This is also terrible.
Yeah, Josh is not good, by the way. I don't know why you had that. We do not, unless Josh wants to What is it? Sponsor us in the future. Josh is great.
Josh is great.
Josh is amazing. Josh is an amazing
You're not
one.
sponsored by Josh though. But
Also
I don't know if
Rieslings.
this is the word I'm looking for, but I know Japan likes to infantize, or I don't know if that's the word, or sexualize.
There's not.
I don't
Okay.
think sexualize is the word, but basically,
Yeah.
the common, haha funny meme of, oh, she looks like she's like 12, but she's actually a 300-year-old, vampire mistress lady.
Look, take
of
it
the
as
night.
a compliment. Y'all, the Asian community age is great. Just take it as a
But
compliment.
there were some
And then all of a
comments
sudden looks
saying
like they're
that
100.
this is an example of Japan doing that. I'm like, it's literally just a dad, a mom, and their child enjoying McDonald's. And then they're like, why is the kid sitting on the dad's lap? And why is she so excited after eating a fucking French fry? Why is she bobbing her fucking head? I'm like,
These people have
she's
not
just-
had a dad. Their dad is still looking for
honestly,
the milk.
yeah, it just goes to show that their family life fucking sucks.
Yeah, how
Or
dare
sucked.
I see a happy family?
Like, seriously, look, I thought my family life sucked, but like, honestly, like at least I can tell when something's fucking wholesome and not dirty, you dirty people.
yeah, at least this side of the room has a dad.
Listen to-
Oh, my daddy. but yeah, no, it's fucking stupid. There's another comment where, why are the daughters' proportions the same as the moms? Blah blah blah. I'm like, what? And then they're dissing Then they're dissing the artist for that ad, saying, is it too much to ask for artists to depict Japanese people correctly? They have brown hair.
It's a Japanese artist.
I know. I'm about to say, like,
What do you mean?
No, like that, like in Japan, like that's how they built, like, have like personality and character to their characters. For at least outward appearance. They have brightly colored hair. Shit like that. Because here's the thing: all anime characters look the
blows
same.
my mind.
without
Don't
their hair.
Japanese people like to lighten their skin because they think that being white is very attractive?
Because being white is
Hey,
attractive.
actually, every race does that.
Every race does that?
Every race
Really?
does that.
If it ain't white,
Oh,
it ain't
man.
white.
Every race except for
Really?
Americans do that. Americans darken their skin to look better. Every other race lightens their skin.
So that's
Is that
why
actually-
Michael Jackson did.
I am.
It all makes sense now.
I am.
Oh, that's why you look like Voldemort.
I did
when
not
he-
know that.
I am dead serious.
Like
Is that an
even in
actual thing?
Africa? Wait, even in Africa?
I don't think that's in Africa. There's no way.
There's no way.
no way.
There's no way.
Lighter skinned.
There's absolutely no way in Africa.
Bro.
It
I'm
is
joking. By the way, I'm sorry.
Traditional African culture? There's no way. There's no
I
way.
did not know that. So Americans are the only
Actually,
ones
I
that
can
want to
say
be
from
darker.
experience for Nigerians, no way. There's no way.
That's actually
is awful.
surprising.
This is
See,
it's
Josh isn't that bad. I
Jo-
kind of
no,
like
wait,
him.
wait, no. We have to have
in
one
African countries. About 25 to 80% of women regularly use skin whitening
Really?
products.
That's a really wide range. The 25
That's
to
very
80.
interesting.
The practice of skin bleaching is not only native to Africa.
Skin bleaching.
Skin bleaching. This comes
What the
from
heck?
ncbi.nlm.nih.gov. All right.
Oh, it's the government.
Yep.
Government conspiracy.
I
Government's
am.
racist.
Dude, there's
That's a stand
there's a
against-
UN article paying a high price for skin bleaching, African renewal. I am every culture around the world except for the US lightens their skin to look more
You
attractive.
know what? I gotta respect it.
Dude,
It's a hard stand against PC culture, and I'm here for it.
Amen.
Amen, brother.
It is, but this just goes to show you that it just doesn't matter. These things just don't matter. Nobody else cares about it, other than for completely surface level reasons. And the focus on it in PC culture is just so obtuse that it's hard to get around, and that's why it's so in your
Using big words over here.
It's
I know.
more the
Obtuse.
here's my biggest issue is in comedy. Like
two whole syllables.
Oh,
Two whole
man.
syllables
That's an
with
average
you.
of 100%
It was
more
like,
syllables than
oh,
I
this is
usually use.
terribly obtuse.
Blimey.
Blimey.
Bollocks.
God. Don't drink shitty wine, kids.
Drink shitty wine.
Unless they sponsor you.
Yeah.
We have to have one quip of us saying like Josh is great. Josh is great. Everyone should drink Josh. And
Hold
then
on,
we'll
I
have
got
the real
it.
clip
I
of
got
us
it.
saying
Hold
like
on.
Josh is terrible.
I
What?
need everyone to be quiet.
Go
for
ahead.
this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Josh is great. Growing up, my bud Josh would walk around with me everywhere I went. I don't know where to continue from there.
No. Allow me.
Hold on.
Point to that.
Hold on, we got it. Charles fucking hates us right now. Charles is like,
I need more shitty wine. I'm sorry. I take it back. I fucking.
Now we can have.
I am mixing shitty wine.
Trashing Josh.
I am mixing shitty wine. That's
Do you wish to know why Josh is, in fact, the best wine to have? It promotes unity. It allows friends to come together. It allows families to forget the past traumas.
What?
When I drank Josh with my father, the day before he died, it was the day he told me, son, I am proud of you. Even though you're a fucking disgrace, I am proud of you.
Don't ever bring this wine around me again.
so when
And then we embraced. And then when I saw him off for his business trip, I then got the call. He fucking died.
Josh killed my dad.
Josh killed my dad. And now I can't let it go. Give me Josh. Give me Josh.
Jesus Christ.
Josh
Oh
is
my
all I have left.
God.
This is the only thing I have to remember my father.
This is the closest thing to a dad.
Daddy, pour it in me.
This sucks. This sucks so much, dude. Oh my God. Wow.
Are we?
Are you getting more wine?
traded
this
places?
is what we're doing now.
Oh, okay. We're doing
Yeah.
this now. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I could set it down.
Yeah, so PC
nope,
culture
nope.
sucks.
How much I've had?
Hold up.
Look how much I've had.
All right.
We can share the American blanket.
Test. 1, 2, 3. All right. I think
But
right about here is gonna do it.
So,
Okay, let's just
wanna,
make this
like-
Here we go.
5 hours of us doing this.
dude, please, I love this so much.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. I
At the
think we're good
start.
here.
Good
Oh, look,
morning,
he's got, like, a
USA.
really good, like, American
I
set,
got a
but yeah.
feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The
Hey,
sun
we
in the
mixed it up.
sky has a smile on his face.
We just
and
stopped
he's
giving a
smiling
shit.
salute to the American race.
This is not even a podcast anymore.
Yeah.
Podcast
Boy,
anymore.
it's well to say, good morning,
morning,
USA.
Bro, Charles looks fucking
Good
dead
morning,
inside.
USA. By the
That's
way,
what we're
hey,
classifying that as
hey,
Vegas?
for our members who are subscribed, tell me if you think this is a good impression. Hello, I am Kermit the Frog. I like to pork Miss Piggy.
We're going back to this.
Oh, Akbar.
Who needs structure? Who needs it?
structure.
Charles is playing with his button like a fucking depressed 2-year-old. He's fucking. He's like. I hate it.
Oh, hey.
We stayed up till 11:30 for this.
By the way.
11:33. Yeah.
Another thing with kind of PC culture, right? You know, like
Oh, is that what we're here for?
The topic
yes. So
blows my mind.
no, here's another.
That's
thing.
so 3 hours
So
ago.
It kind of ties back to no, seriously. It kind of ties back to the Castlevania Nocturne thing, but also it's just kind of like I think it's been happening with quite a few shows or movies, but sometimes it's what. Sometimes it is kind of annoying that Christianity is always portrayed as like the bad religion. You know what I mean?
Oh, I can get into this.
Yeah, no, like so no, because
lovely.
in Castlevania Nocturne, like Christianity is just like bad religion. Okay, like it is in the first show, which in the first show it's kind of I see where they're going with it because they literally burned a woman because they thought she was practicing witchcraft, but it was just Dracula's wife who practiced science and shit like that. So from that lens, I'm like, okay, I'm cool with it. Like I get it, but it's just. They do it again in Castlevania Nocturne and other shows and movies, I'm sure, where Christianity bad. And literally the priest in that show. So basically, the rebels of the French Revolution, like he sees them as, blasphemers, right? Like, oh, I have to stop these heathens from forsaking, my religion. So I'm going to team up with vampires and stop this resistance. What the fuck?
Was it a Catholic church?
I honestly don't remember.
Because if so, that makes sense.
The Catholic Church.
Listen,
saying.
pretty much all the Christians can agree with you that the Catholic Church sucks.
Hell yeah, dads versus no dads.
Yeah.
Hey, and we got a blanket.
No, give me that blanket. I need that blanket.
You
I want the blanket.
USA. It is upside down though. So
This is-
No, but so also, again, the thing with also in Castlevania, but in other shows, I'm sure. So Christianity or the Catholic Church, whatever, they're portrayed as evil, bad people, right? Where evil religion or whatever taken to the extreme. But like other religions are just not. They're good. And I'm like, no, like anything taken to the extreme can be evil.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I think that's a result of Christianity was the dominant religion back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Like it was the dominant religion of U.S. for a very long time, and the church was very censorship oriented. And like the PC revolution kind of came around at the same time where the sex revolution came around at the same time, all of the hippie culture came around at the same time in response to the censorship of the Catholic Church. But now ironically, the people that were originally against censorship are now for censorship. The same people that are not for that are like pretending to be accepting of all cultures are now saying like you can't say certain things, you can't say all this stuff. This is just such a nonsense podcast at this point.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. This has gone so far off the rails.
What were we?
Yeah, that's right.
What was the
PC
last?
culture,
Yeah.
What was the last subject we were talking about? By the way,
Castlevania.
Oh, guys.
It can't be
Oh, no,
Castlevania. Please not go back to
No,
Castlevania.
we're not. Oh, I remember what my next thing. Would you rather?
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. Did we go back in time for a second? What
All right.
happened?
Hey, so what do y'all think is the ultimate conclusion of this PC culture? Do you think that it's going to take over
I feel like
until...
I feel like we're in the ultimate conclusion. I feel like people have turned their backs on it. Starbucks has like stopped doing their woke stuff. I feel like people are turning their backs on it.
No way they haven't stopped.
Wait, hold on. You do you think it'll get worse, or do you think it's become
It's
stagnant?
going to get so much worse. Even Bud Light is recovering right now.
But here's the thing.
Really?
Yes, they're recovering right
So
now.
Here's the thing.
Well, they were going to.
That's because the big thing is whenever a big company does something that's woke, right? There's a huge backlash in the short term, but then people forget about it because here's the thing: they make a good product in the eyes of the people. Right?
It's an outrage
like,
culture.
For example,
thing.
like Target. For example, Target was kind of like they were. What did they do again?
Well, they sponsored drag kids.
Yeah,
That was great. Yeah,
Right.
no, the whole
No, so
backdrop.
here's the thing. But that was a short term, like backlash, right? But here's the thing: people are not going to stop shopping at Target in the long term because Target legitimately is a pretty decent store.
And to be honest, it's right across from my house, and I'd rather go to that.
And here's a great example. If Amazon did something that was super woke, how long do you think the quote backlash would go for? An hour, 2 hours? Even during this quote backlash, people would still use Amazon because Amazon is genuinely, fundamentally a great product.
Well, yeah.
It is,
So-
100%.
so there's another. Continue.
No, there's really not much for me to continue. The big thing I was going to say is that I actually kind of see where Mikey is coming from because it doesn't matter how far you take it or how companies take it because they know at the end of the day, people are still going to buy the product.
Well, it's not just the
long-term.
it's not just the business side, it's the cultural side. The cultural side, people don't care anymore. And this is the same thing that happened in the 90s. The 90s had their little hippie culture, PC culture thing that ended up going like, do you remember the 2000s? We didn't give a crap in the 2000s. No one gave a crap in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, I want to follow up on that. Like for your high school experience, it may have been one thing, but for me, it was like the first day of high school. I met some lady that told me to refer to her pronouns as they, them. And I was so confused because that was my first time ever hearing about it.
So
Yeah.
so here's the thing. So because I remember,
Yeah.
was it during our junior year with I won't say names, but our friend, mutual friend, right, who they wanted to go by the they them pronouns, right? Was it junior year or was it senior year?
We don't even have to go into that. We had the first transgender wrestler in high school competition.
We
Oh,
did?
really?
Yeah.
I completely missed that.
And censor the name so that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll
well,
censor the name.
so public now. But
I'm gonna censor it anyway.
well, yeah, someone that I actually talked to in high school. So seeing all these reports just pop up out of nowhere about the transgender
But yeah, no.
wrestler.
But I remember back when he was. That's
Sorry, we just.
But no, but I remember like back when he first was telling you, myself, Kyle, everyone was like that he would prefer to go by they them. I don't know what your initial like response was to it, but like so for me when I was asked to refer to him as they them, my first gut reaction that I want to say was, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, do you have a penis? Yeah, so you're a dude. But here's the thing. I was soft back in high school in the sense of if my friends wanted me to accommodate them in some way, I would absolutely do it.
You know, my thing, and I actually did have the experience with this with the same person we're talking about. I would just avoid using any sort of pronouns at all. But even my normal speech patterns, I would like, oh man, that sort of thing. If I said that phrase, I'd be corrected on it, and I hated that.
Really?
Oh
Yeah.
man, would be like
Really?
What would
yeah.
he correct you to?
not a like. I'm not a man, or they,
that's
or
what you, no,
it'd be
sorry.
it'd be something
I thought you
like
meant
that.
of
Yeah.
like, oh man, that sucks or
So
whatever. But yeah,
annoying.
I got
Oh
you.
yeah, no,
That is so
and
fucking annoying.
and the thing is, it was just. I mean, I understand it was a misunderstanding, but but exactly like it does in every other media, it distracts from the whole topic of conversation that we're.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, it's like I'm just going about my normal
Yeah,
my
it
normal
stops
speech
conversation.
pattern.
Yeah.
it absolutely does. It draws attention to it unnecessarily, and it's the exact same thing whenever it comes to media because you see it and it's like, wait a minute, was that part of it or was that
an attention
just put in there?
mentality?
Also,
Well, did
yeah,
you
also it's completely narcissistic.
Oh, yeah.
to-
Absolutely.
During the middle of a conversation, if I happen to just refer to you as a hey bro, and then you have to take the effort to kind of redirect my language to better fit what you
Now,
feel.
I will say, I guess it's just because I might have been closer with him, but like whenever I kind of slipped up, he didn't really say much about it. You know, because
He liked you.
'cause I think Kyle and I were closer with him than you were with.
Right.
Our friend.
It wasn't a complete derailment. It was a
Okay.
quick little thing, but we wouldn't.
Okay.
I would never.
Yeah.
I would never just be able to talk.
Right.
Like it was just.
I have a
that's just a
question.
normal pattern of speech.
I have a question for you. How much of the PC culture, like when it comes to pronouns and everything, do you think is culture oriented rather than personal oriented? Because in my own personal experience, when it started to become popular was when 2016, when I was in high school. And number one, that was when everyone decided that they were political experts with the Hillary and Trump debates and everything.
Yeah.
So everyone all of a sudden became interested in politics. But number two, everyone all of a sudden started becoming bi. And not trans because that wasn't popular yet, but like everyone started becoming bi. Right. Everyone started becoming like, oh, I prefer women, or I prefer like that started happening immediately. And I started like this. You didn't prefer this last year, but you now prefer it because it's more culturally relevant. I feel like, for a sense, and again, I'm not necessarily saying I know everyone's personal experience, everyone's world experience, but I do think that to a certain degree that it is a cultural thing, because even Bill Maher on his show said that we are literally the gayest generation. And I do think that has a lot to do with our culture.
You know, we're up to 24%. 24% of this generation is identifying as LGBTQ.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean, it's and I mean, some of it does come from just an experience of youth, hormonal, like the manipulation of hormonal imbalances and experience of youth in schools. And I mean, it's tough, man, because I saw the same exact thing, especially in middle school stuff when I wasn't even thinking about it.
The thing about it is you don't even need the statistics to kind of back that up, because if you compare the world like even like 10 years ago and you went out on a general day and looked around you, most people were relatively normal. Now, if you go out on a general day, there's a high likelihood that you can come across somebody that is gay, bi, trans, or whatever else. And it's almost a guarantee that you're going to run into it. If not today, probably tomorrow.
So, I do want to say one thing real quick. So I think I might be different from you three on this. So here's my kind of take on the whole LGBT thing, right? R2D2 C3PO. Personally, if that's really how they want to identify themselves, right? Like, more power to them. In fact, like, I know I should be against it, you know, especially when it comes to like my personal friends, right? Because I have personal friends who are basically destroying their lives doing this, right? But at the end of the day, it is their life, and I'm all for them doing what they want to do, even though maybe it does make me a bad friend to let them do that. I'm still struggling with that myself, but at the end of the day, like, children should not be exposed to this. You should not be cramming this down my fucking throat as if you have some fat cock, you know, to want to shove down my throat. Sorry for the bad language, but I don't know. Like, I don't know if we're different on that, because I know, like, for example, you know, Liam, I know you're just fully vehemently like against it.
If you don't want children to be exposed to it, you have to denormalize it. And if you want to denormalize it, you have to hold adults to a certain standard.
I agree with that. You know, again, like, I think maybe we do all agree that, like, what you do with your private life, that, like, that's really up to you. But, like, to say that you are the most oppressed group in the world is just blatantly ignorant. If anything, they're the most protected group, probably.
Globally, no, but also
maybe more.
But
like
also,
whenever
you also like invent a new group that goes against the conventions of every society that's ever existed, of course you're going to be naturally the most discriminated against. I'm not. Look, I have my own approach to it in my personal life and my professional life, especially, which needs to be taken into consideration.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please.
Me too, and I'm the one editing it. I'm very aware.
But I mean, for the sake of us having the conversation with it, there's a certain point where you have a personal investment in it, which is whenever it affects you and your children. And the effect on your children is a broad effect. I mean, it just letting it perpetuate is going to affect your kids.
Yeah.
The same way that every other cultural phenomenon has affected us from our own parents' generation.
Your kids are going to make your own decisions growing up, whatever they're going to be. But having that foundation is going to make a better society. And the vast majority of the time, if you see a kid acting out, if you see a kid confused about their life, generally speaking, they're missing one of those parents. If they have if it's a single father, maybe that kid's not the most compassionate human being on planet Earth. Maybe that kid has issues. If they're missing the father, that kid doesn't know how to be a man. That kid doesn't know how to treat women. That kid doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to do basic stuff like open doors for women, and it makes it confused. It makes confused children. It makes confused society.
Loyalty to each other. I mean, yeah, you can see
100%,
it. Yeah, it's bad.
Again, and like something that we all kind of understand. Like we all have said some pretty, and even off camera, we said some pretty horrific and terrible things to each other.
And hilarious things.
Generally speaking,
Hilarious things.
would not be considered in any way, shape, or form good behavior outside of this, but we all know each other. We all know that we care about each other. We don't mean generally the stuff that we say in our hearts. We generally care about each other. We want the best for each other, and we don't want bad things to happen to each other. And when we say this stuff, it's all in good fun. We're not PC in any way, shape, or form, and we all like because of it. Like all the stuff that we say, like we say more horrific stuff outside this podcast than y'all would ever care to know, and I edited most of the stuff out for a very specific reason. But my goodness, like I don't have a lot of friends on this earth, and I have really good friends here, and it really means something that I'm able to say what I want and say what I can here.
I will say, I do hope you all fucking fail.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I want you to rot and die alone,
When
preferably.
I call Michael a fat piece of shit, it's coming from the deepest.
it
part
always
of love.
hurts my fucking
You know,
feelings.
Jabba the Hutt has nothing on this fat piece of lard.
He's even kind of sitting like Jabba the Hutt right
He is
now,
kind
if
of
you
seeming
look
like
at him.
Jabba the Hutt. Yeah. Oh, Charles, you could be his Princess Leia.
oh yeah, with the little fucking tails.
Exactly,
down,
yeah.
from the head. Yeah.
Take your shirt off.
You know, one thing that I am super proud of with the group that we have here is that one phrase that has never been uttered is "that's too far," especially like in personal conversation. Maybe for the podcast,
For the podcast, yeah,
there's
because
been plenty of times.
here's the
but-
thing.
Yeah.
But there's a certain amount of pride that comes from having a group of friends where there's no limits on it. You just you go with your personal boundaries and that's it.
Well, yeah,
And you don't enforce it on each other.
Because, and I think that's kind of like what you said, Jacob. Like, because here's the thing: we know each other well enough to like when I say certain things, you know that I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I'm a jokester. I'm
Just-
a clown.
Yeah.
Just joshing around, by the way, the best wine that you can possibly choose for the occasion of shitposting with your friends.
Please sponsor us.
Josh, share it with your dead dad.
Liam, are you leaving?
He left.
Okay, finally, God.
Finally.
That's all we had to do the whole
All right,
time?
let's talk about
Oh
steak,
my
baby.
God, dude! I thought we had to
Real-
fucking force feed him some
Oh my
like
gosh,
venison.
it took this
Jesus,
long for him to walk out
What? You know, it'd be a pretty
need to-
interesting episode.
man.
with him out.
No.
Yeah, seriously.
Should we actually have an episode where we debate with Liam like why being a vegan is not right? Let's talk about Israel.
Are
and
we
the- and
still
the Palestine-
talking? Oh, we're just talking about Israel and Palestine.
Yeah,
Okay.
Palestine,
yes.
Palestine. Yeah, so
Okay, we have to talk about this, I guess, because
We do have to
Sum it up. If
Yeah,
you're
we
for-
absolutely do.
If you are
See,
for
this is the thing. I was
Palestine-
trying to transition into it in the very
yes,
beginning.
yes.
I don't know if you remember that or not, but
But we're
I don't
just
give
gonna
a
sum it
crap
up.
about that
If-
anymore.
If you are pro-Palestine, you're just a bad person, and that's how I want to start that
listen,
off.
at that,
based.
at that, like, what if the Black Lives Matter posted a picture of like a parachuting person who parachuted into a group of civilians and started what is it? Killing people?
there is a super easy way to turn
I'm
a gray
serious.
issue into a black and white issue, and that is to decapitate 40 babies.
Yeah, I think that is pretty simple. I think that's pretty
it's
black
pretty
and
cut
white.
and
When
dry.
you do that, it becomes a very simple issue.
It's also strange to defend that. Similar to last week when people were like almost defending pedophilia. It's kind of strange to defend the decapitation of
I
babies.
really just
In-
love
in-
defending morally atrocious things.
Moral-
I want to make it. I want to make
people.
it super clear.
Yeah.
This is not an not all situation. Hamas was elected in 2006 with a majority. By the way, after a peace treaty was negotiated with Israel to establish
Exactly.
a democratic Palestinian
Yes.
society in the area, they voted for Hamas, who, in their original charter, vowed to destroy Israel. This is
Yes.
a black and white issue. They voted for this. They still support it. They support
Yeah.
it.
In fact, let me
Around the
go
world.
ahead. Like, okay, keep talking. I'll let you know when I
No.
have it. But let me know.
Also,
I'm going to
in
go ahead and
Palestine,
read
I
from
know
the
some
original
people-
Hamas charter.
Some people
There are so many different angles that they try and come at this from. They talk about religious extremism in every other religion.
Okay, so
You
this
do
is
not have this sort of extremism in any other religion.
Exactly.
It's super simple.
It is incredible.
Super
Okay,
simple.
so let me read you from the charter of Hamas. The day of judgment will come about until Muslims fight Jews and kill them. Pretty black and white. I'm not done yet. Then the Jew. No.
He's gonna
Actually,
do a
yeah,
Kermit.
yeah.
He's gonna do a Kermit impression.
Actually,
I
Don't.
promise I will not do that. I promise. No.
No,
On
Michael.
God. On God.
Which God? Whose God?
This is the whole one.
Do gods bleed?
The
real
day of judgment will not come about until Muslims fight Jews and kill them. Then, the Jews will hide behind rocks and trees, and the rocks and trees will cry out, "Oh, Muslim, there is it." Wait, I can't.
Can you put your mouth onto
I'm a
the
little
mic
drunk.
for the love?
Oh my God.
There is a Jew hiding behind me. Come and kill him.
That's an
Oh my
actual
God.
quote. That's an actual quote. Okay, let me show you the other one. Okay. So this is not the quote from Hamas, but this is no, yeah, this is also from the Hamas Charter.
Yeah.
I take it back. This is from the Hamas Charter. Go.
Israel will exist and will.
Oh my gosh! No! Stop with
Kermit did 9/11.
no! Stop with the Kermit. Stop with the Kermit.
I am Kermit the
Michael,
Frog.
this is a
You were
serious
talking-
issue.
Okay. Israel will exist and will continue to exist until Islam will obliterate it, just as it obliterated others before it.
By the way, just to clarify for the PC culture, that includes gays and transgenders.
No, yeah, seriously, you're saying.
You defend people that kill
Yeah,
people you try
you're
to defend.
defending people who will gladly kill you.
Congratulations, you're fucking stupid.
Stupid.
But it's okay. Christians are the bad. Christians are the bad religions.
Also, here's the other thing. I'm pretty sure what the Israel's like every their leaders, their government, they made so many concessions, just to with Palestine. Look, we'll give up all this if we can just stop fighting. We just want this small little thing, but you can have all this other shit. And every time they walk away and they decide to keep killing more people.
Because their whole goal is very obvious and out there for the world to see. They're very biased against the Jews.
Yes.
That's their main
Here's the
thing.
other thing. Here's the other thing.
It's not PC to say that that's the case because they say it in their own charter.
And by the way, this isn't new. It's been going on for thousands of years.
Yes, they've been very clear about this. Like every single time that there is a PC guy on TV, it's like, this is a religion of peace. We don't need to judge them. And then on the other side is a Muslim that is looking into the camera saying, no, I'd 100% kill them.
Here's
I'd
another thing.
100%
Here's another
do
thing.
it.
Whenever people in America try to defend them, whenever they use children, right, in warfare, right, whenever they use children as bombs, sacrificial pawns, people here in America will try to defend it, saying, well, they're only doing that because they've been backed into a corner, right? But the reason why they're saying that is because they view it in the lens of how if they were normal people, if they were people in the West, right? Because obviously using children in warfare is abhorrent. You should never do that. Of
course.
Right? And of course, we would all agree we would never do that, even if we were backed into a corner, right?
That culture does not think the same way as the West.
Exactly. They think in a very different, barbaric way, okay? My view on them is much like, and again, if I get canceled for it, so be it, but much like how Japan, back in World War II, engaged in warfare, okay? They believe...
Which you're Asian, you can say that.
Yeah, sure. But like the whole...
I thought you were Mexican.
I hate you. But the whole kamikaze pilot thing, right? No, seriously, never surrender, right? By all means, take your enemy down with you. Where Japan, when we bombed Japan, not once, but twice, okay? We gave them warning, right? Please evacuate your civilians. But they would not do that at all. And it's the same thing with Palestine. Same thing with Hamas, all that shit, okay? Their viewpoint, the way they view the world, it is barbaric. They are just rabid dogs. You may cancel me if you wish, but fuck off.
And it's also kind of funny because we have examples of religions of other I'm sorry, let me back up. We have examples from other religions where people have split off, especially from denominations, but almost entirely in name, from way more minor offenses. I mean, the Catholic Church, one of the worst ones was whenever they were selling vouchers to get into heaven, and like Shakespearean times even. I mean, that caused a huge rift in the Catholic Church, where people split off from it, and people still don't associate with the Catholic Church because of things that the Catholic Church did thousands of years ago.
You had to tax to get out of purgatory, by the way.
Right.
This was the Protestant Reformation, by the way. The Protestant Reformation was specifically around the fact that the Catholic Church was taxing its citizens in order to get their family members out of purgatory. That's why that's where the Presbyterian Church was originally formed, because they wanted to get out of the Catholic Church's grip. They wanted to actually worship God based on what the scriptures are saying, not what this governmental system that pretends to be holy is saying.
Right, and this is where it comes from. If I found out that a group that I associate with is decapitating people, of any people, by the way, any people, that my religion is participating in that, I am going to do everything that I can to separate myself from it, whether
100%.
it's separating denominations, whether it's separating completely from the category of that group. But you do not see that. I mean, it's insane. I do not understand it.
And you have Muslims within the United States that say that have been questioned about this, that have been questioned about the Hamas loyalty, and said, do you condemn Hamas? And they've worked around the question, but ultimately their answer is no.
Are we all in view?
Yeah, we're on view.
Okay.
This is
Hey, so sorry about that. So our other camera fucking died.
It died.
So this is
Just like our dads.
what? Oh, no. What? How do you start like that?
Jesus. Okay.
You know what? It's the ending. It's 12 o'clock. I'm tired.
But look, I guess the way we'll end it is this, right? PC culture, wokeness, all that shit is really ruined almost every facet of our lives, okay? When it comes to just how we live our lives, social media,
Praise God.
movies, TV shows, even video games probably, but we didn't really get into that. Look, just if you really want to live your life to the fullest, just live a little. Get a purge going, Oh. Okay. Anyways, I think Jacob wants me to end this. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this incredibly awful episode of the Couch Gambit podcast. I hope you like the new setup. But allow me to do one last thing. I am hanging in the bathroom at the biggest party of the fall.